So here we are, live and direct. It's Tuesday. It's a little bit past 9 o'clock. You know what time it is. It is MBTI magic time. So let's begin. We're going to be answering core questions live. This is going to be a nice, fun, quick show. But I feel like everybody, in case you're not aware, MBTI questions on Quora are just amazing. They come in all varieties. And I like it because I don't know what I'm going to say. So whatever comes out is going to be pretty informative, man. So here we go. And if you have any questions yourself, anybody on the live group, let me know. And I can answer personal questions as well. So we are going to begin. And so let me ask you, Tim, what is the question? Give me a question.
Okay. So what is the most misunderstood MBTI type?
Okay, so what is the most misunderstood MBTI type? Ooh, good question. Okay. I might have to say, it's a tough one. In between INTP and INTJ. And so the reason why I'm in between INTP and INTJ when it comes to the most misunderstood is because they both can come off cold, and people don't realize that they both are actually pretty sweet people. I have some really good INTP friends, some really good INTJ friends like you. She's an INTJ. And they both have a very warm heart, warm side. They don't really want to hurt anybody. They both have very good control of their anger. So that already means they're not very, they don't have a lot of conflict. They're not very confrontational. So that alone, I mean, that lets you know these people obviously can only be so evil, like, because they're not even going to hurt you directly. And then the INTP thing is very different from ISTJ. People try to, I feel like ISTJs have more of the rules more so than the INTJ. INTPs, they don't even, the rules, they're totally on my team when it comes to that as an ENFP. INTPs don't care about the rules either. They just follow them just to exist, but they are definitely rebels naturally. They just express it more quietly. When we talk about INTJs actually have more of a free spirit than ISTJs, I'd say. I think ISTJs have a free, fun side, but the only difference is for INTJs, well, they have more of that intuition, whereas ISTJs are more focused on the past. So they're going to need to kind of go back to what they know, whereas the INTJ can kind of go on a path less traveled. So they do have more of that rebellious side. So long story short, the most misunderstood are INTPs and INTJs. I'll give it a tie. They both are very misunderstood.
Go on.
Oh, okay. So the reason why they're misunderstood is because I kind of explained it a little bit in the sense of they're the most rational types and they're introverted. So because you're introverted and you're extremely rational, they have their own mentality. They have their own formulas for why things make sense for them. And they don't, unlike INTJs have it a little bit more, but INTJs have extroverted thinking. So they'll tell you what they think, but they don't care to share it with the world. It's more so, it's because that introverted intuition and that introverted feeling makes them really in their own feeling, in their own mind. So they're going to tell you something that's going to be something objectively what to do, but they're not going to go ahead and try to like convince or explain too much beyond just the basics. INTJs don't even like to talk a lot. They're minimalists when it comes to talking and communication. So in that regard, that explains why you all are misunderstood, because you all don't feel like explaining the things that will help people understand. And so because you guys take the path of least resistance when it comes to communication, what ends up happening is the INTJ people just don't get the full picture about them. They don't really know the depth. INTJs go very deep. And then for INTPs, the other group that's the most misunderstood, in my opinion, the reason why for them is it's essentially the same thing. It's even worse because they have introverted thinking. So they know what they think, but they don't feel like really explaining it to you. That's the whole thing. Introverted thinking is much like how I think. They can tell you how they feel, maybe, but yeah. INTPs, it's just the effort. They don't feel like doing the effort. They'll share with you some of their ideas, but if you don't agree, they're like, all right, whatever. So there you go. The reason why is because you all don't have the passion really or the motivation to like explain to people, or they care honestly for them to understand you. So then the question you have to ask yourself is, how many people are you trying to understand? INTJs and INTPs really don't be out here trying to understand people unless it's like a love interest or something. So because of that, it's almost like the return, the law of exchange. ENFPs, on the other hand, or ENTP, or that have more the fishing FE types, like ENFJs, they're more so curious about people. So they'll ask people questions. They'll try to figure things out about people. And because of that, they have more of that return. So, boom, there we go. Let's keep them coming. Let's keep them coming. Let's keep them coming.
How can you guess someone's MBTI type?
Okay. How do you guess someone's MBTI type? So the way you do it essentially is you take the 4 functions. Now, as much as I like to teach people the stacks and how they work, like if you have extroverted thinking, you have introverted feeling, that thing. Most people don't care about all that. Most people don't have the time for that. So what you want to do is just take the main method. I start off like this. Is this person more extroverted or introverted? That's the first thing I start with. And if they're more extroverted, they're going to be the type that are just more comfortable when you talk to them. When you met them, were they more comfortable socially? Or were they people who are introverted, I can already tell because they're more quiet. Like extroverts, you can almost tell. Like extroverts are just more comfortable socially. It's not even about how much they talk, it's about how comfortable they are. So who's comfortable? And who's the ones that are just comfortable being quiet more? So I start there. So I'm like, all right, boom. Once you get that, you got a huge piece of the puzzle. Okay, another introverted or another extroverted, boom. Then you go into, are they more intuitive or more sensory? So then if I want to gauge that, if they're more intuitive, I'll base it on like, were they more in their head? Was it more ideas when I did talk to them or when I do talk to them? Or is it more like practical things, or is it more down to earth? Like, that's how I gauge the intuitive. You can tell really like, who do you get in long conversations with about ideas, about things that aren't in the present, versus senses will more so be about talking about people, places, things that you did. They'll be like, yeah, I went to this event. It was so awesome. I'll tell you about that. You'll have your combos with them, or I seen this. Are you seeing that? Versus intuitives, it's not really about what they've seen. They'll be like, yeah, I watched the show. I didn't really care about the show. Like, I didn't like this part. It was like weird. Like, so now it's just ideas. So then I get that out the way. I'm like, okay, so I know they're introverted, and it looks like they be in their head. It looks like they're more idea, because we talk about ideas. So that's IN. What's next? I go to the third one. Are they more thinkers or feelers? Like, and that's the way I gauge that is I can tell they're more feelers if they have more emanation, if they like connect, if they're more, they go with the flow, if they show more expression. That's the key way. So feelers, even if they're quiet and you can't tell, they'll still be like, you'll say something, they'll be like, or they'll give you like a face like, or like, okay, like it's just more vibes, it's more bodily expressions in which they communicate. Whereas thinkers, it's more dry face. So they'll be with you and they might think of something, but it might be like very different than, like thinkers don't really do it. They're not really like, that's not a thinker thing, unless you really said something funny or something. Like, really, for a thinker to do a regular feeler expression, you have to have done something like great. Like when INTPs laugh, like a F, like a person with feeling laughing is like, ha ha. A thinker laughing is like, it's like, that was clever. So I gauge that. I'm like, okay, they seem more dry cut. There's not much, it's more internal control. It's not much, and then for the feeler, it's like, did they give me a facial expression where they're more like open energy wise? Like, and then a big way to tell is, do they say think more or do they say feel? Feelers would be like, man, I feel you, or have you ever felt, or like, what made you feel like that, or how do you feel? Thinkers are, yeah, what do you think about this, or yeah, it's about that. Like, what do you think about this? Feels, or what do you feel about this? Boom. So, and then once I do that, the last things I say, are they more of a judger or are they more of a perceiver? And the way I can tell that is they're more of a perceiver. They were more going with the flow, and they were more a way to kind of tell without having to know somebody too much between a judge and a perceiver is a perceiver is going to be more um, floaty. Like it's not going to be about a time constraint. It's not going to be about anything like that. Even if perceivers want to leave an environment, they're not going to do it like judges. Judges like, all right, man, it's 2:15, man, I got to go. Or they'll be like, we had a friend like on your birthday, your friends that were there, the two, they're both introverts, but I can actually tell that they're perceivers, even though you might think they're judges because they're like, okay, but you could tell with things like this. So in case you didn't know, we went to a movie theater with some friends that I just met there. My girlfriend's coworkers, and she they were with us. And so the way I could tell they were perceivers, we went to watch a movie, and after the movie we were hanging out for a second, we talked a little bit before we left, and we were sitting there for a minute. Like when it was time to go, we both like want to go, but nobody pulled the trigger to be like, okay, so I'll see you later. It was kind of like, okay, I'm waiting for you to kind of, and then we get into more conversation, and 15 minutes go by, and we're like, yeah, I think we want to leave. But then it's like, yeah, so what do you guys, what I mean? And then finally, the way it works for perceivers is like, okay, we end the conversation or we leave or whatever when it's like, when the world knows it's time. Like, okay, bro, I've been talking for 2 hours. Like, all right, man, yeah, I'm about to step. You know what I mean? But 30 minutes in the conversation, we already kind of wanted to end it. But perceivers go with the flow. So that's how I judge between judges and perceivers. And also judges are a little bit more, I guess, quaint, direct. And so I just piece all those together. I'm like, okay, she's more introverted. She was more of a thinker, right? She was, what do you call it? She was more of an intuitive. So I already know that's INT. And then I just say, she seemed like a perceiver because she was kind of just cool, chilling. Boom, INTP. Boom. I gave y'all so much gold right there. I gave y'all such an amazing formula. Like, goddamn it. When I do my consultations with people and I like they always get fried. And I do it with that basic thing. Like, let's just figure those 4 things out. I can figure out the rest, whatever. All right, what's the next core question? I'm going to do 2 more for the MBTI group. Then I'm going to the ENFP group live because it be popping in the ENFP group. So MBTI group, man, this is MBTI. Like, I need y'all to like come in this thing. Like, this is the MBTI group. There shouldn't be subgroups beating MBTI. So shout out to MBTI. Let's get more people involved, man. This is awesome. Anyways, all right, what's the next core question? And just so you know, as you're waiting for the question, if you want to watch the recordings of these, just go to God Johnny Speaks. It's on YouTube. It's GODJANI Speaks, SPEAKS. So for all the recordings for the show episodes thus far, check it out there. Now, what's the next question?
Which MBTI type is most controlling?
Oh man, MBTI type that's the most controlling is an ISTJ, and then it could be an ESFJ too, because, well, the ESFJ won't really be controlling, but they'll want to be controlling. I gotta say, it would probably have to be the ISTJ. Actually, I'm sorry, it's ESTJ, ISTJ, and I'd probably say ESTJ is the most controlling. Why is that? Sci-fi. Oh yeah. Yeah, so like ESFJs, they lead with ESTJs. They lead with extroverted thinking, first of all. So like that's all bad. Cause like extroverted thinking is like all about, okay, what's the most rational thing to do in the environment? If you lead with that, your introverted feeling is fourth and your extroverted feeling is last, period. So like you want to control the external environment, yet the people you're trying to control, you totally don't have the skills to control them because your feeling sucks. And feeling is what helps you sway people and know how to do all that communicative type of stuff. So it's all bad with ESTJs because they want it. Their whole first drive is about facts, logic, and what's to control the external environment. What's out here. That F5 is so low, it's not a lot of internal depth, right? Then they have SI second. So now the ways that they're able to control the outer world is based on like what they've seen or what they've already done. So they can't really, a big part of like communication and influencing people is going with the flow with them. They totally kind of have a blockage of that because they're going back. So they can't really, they don't have that intuition to like go where it's going or the feeling skills really to like feel where it's going. So it's just purely like, okay, this is how it should be. And then when they don't know what to do, they have to almost go back to like a data bank. You know, like, okay, well, how should they do it? Okay, well, they should do it like this, boom. So ESFJs and ESTJs both can fall in this. Maybe the ESFJs have a little advantage because they have the feeling thing a little bit so that they can kind of learn. But ESFJs can be a little bit, you know, but because of that, whatever, because they have introverted thinking as well. So ESFJs, they have introverted thinking, which means they have their own logic. So they can be kind of short-sighted, but at least they have extroverted feeling. For the ESTJs, these are a lot of your people who military, police, workout, maybe, but a lot of them are just big time when it comes to doing systems, being reliable, going out there and just straight up going. So yeah, that's the most controlling type I'd have to say. But every type can be controlling, as we all know, because I met a controlling version of damn near every type. Even the sweet ones. Okay. Last question on MBTI Live, man.
Oh,
and if y'all have questions, no, we can keep giving them, but just for this one. Come on the live stream. I got the links all up in the MBTI page. Hop on the live stream. I'm going to answer questions for like another 15 to 20 minutes. And then I'm going to answer any personal questions at the end. So, all right, what's this one?
What MBTI type is the most intuitive?
Such a good question. That's such a good question. It's so hard because there's two different forms of intuition. So then I kind of have to pick. So, all right, I'll say it like this. They're all so intuitive in different ways. So we're saying the most intuitive in general?
I guess you can answer.
Okay. All right. ENFPs are the most intuitive when it comes to imagination. When it comes to just pure imagination. INFPs are the most intuitive when it comes to anything like musical or creative. They're the most intuitive because that requires their intuition because it works for themselves. I'd have to say INTJs are the most intuitive when it comes to what to do in an environment, like at a job, at a workplace. You can't beat the INTJ. Like they'll pretty much know what to do. INTJ, INFJ is tough. They both are really good in work environments. Long story short, man, let's just keep it real, bro. I have to say ENTPs are the most intuitive. So I said all that to just pick the ENTPs. ENTPs are definitely the most intuitive because honestly, they have that rationale that makes all their ideas have a little bit more validity in the world. And so that NE combined with introverted thinking gives them like infinite ideas that are logical. And to me, the most intuitive person would have to be someone who can balance intuition with real life. That's probably the most practical intuition. I got to give it to ENTPs. I think they're the most intuitive. I've gotten some of the most brilliant ideas from ENTPs. Some of my biggest people I study in the idea world is ENTPs. They take you to a different level. Even as an ENFP, we can't get there because we get blocked by like people. Like we can. The Fs are too distracted by people. We have the best intuition with people, the NFs, but NT, they just, for the sake of intuition, they live that. They just are intuitive. Like they're the best ones. So here we go here. So now I got the links in the group. I'm gonna go head over to the ENFP page, but join me live on Zoom. It's I got the link on there. The Zoom meeting ID is 600-660-796. Hop on. Talk to you guys soon. So here we are. I answered some core questions that are really awesome. I'm answering the second set now. I did it in the MBTI Facebook group. Now I'm over here in the ENFP Facebook group with the real team, because the ENFP Facebook group is live. All right, so I'm not even worried. I know it's going to get nice and fun. All right, bring on the questions, and at the end I'm going to just answer any questions you all have. So here we go. Live recordings are going to be on God Johnny Speaks, GODJANISPEAKS on YouTube. All right, let's go.
What MBTI type do you think is the most difficult?
Okay, what MBTI type do I think is the most difficult? I'd have to say ESTJs. I'm going to come over ESTJs today. It's because I'm an ENFP, man. We're like on the opposite side of the spectrum. Let me just do a quick run through in case I'm forgetting anybody. All the F types I can dig. They all have their little ways, but I can dig all the Fs. The T's I can dig, but you said
which one? MBTI type is most difficult? I guess most difficult to have.
Oh, the most difficult to have. Yeah. Okay, so the most difficult one to have, man, I'm gonna say ENFPs, yo. That one is such a hard stack. I don't know how people do it, including myself. Like, and a lot of the ENFPs are like geniuses, but if you look at the stack, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, look at the ENFP stack. Like, how do we have a chance? Like, rationale and sensing is our worst function. They said, "What are you gonna hit every MBTI group? I just seen you." I know, right? I'm making rounds. You know what I mean? That's so funny. But yeah, man, like, what is good? Like, think about it. No disrespect, this found it strange. Oh yeah, you know, I tune in to all the different groups, but the two main ones are actually the ENFP group and the MBTI. Those are the two that I live stream from, because those have the most action. All the other ones I just kind of post the info. So check those two out. Mainly ENFP group. This group is awesome. Like, you all are really fun. I feel like MBTI. I don't know. You would think MBTI would have everybody, but ENFP has like 3 times more people than the MBTI group. But more power to both groups. There's no shade. So yeah, I mean, now that you asked me like who has the hardest one, is ENFPs in my opinion, because sensing is your worst function. Then sensing is like the world. It's like practicality. So you're already screwed, right? So then your second to worst function. And the worst thing is extroverted sensing. That's your worst function. So your worst function is literally the main function that makes you present. So by being ENFP off like the strength, you're just distracted. Like, you're already at a disadvantage compared to people who are like in the moment, right? Then you realize, oh wait, my second worst function is thinking. Oh, thanks, life. I have introverted thinking now. It's my second worst function, which is my idea, my thoughts, my logic. So now you're not paying attention to the present moment. You really don't have any internal logical structure. And then your third worst one is extroverted feeling. So now you're not even the best at like caring about them. So now you become like this extroverted person that lives in your own world. It's so weird. You lack all the functions that make you connect with society. And as an ENFP, you now live in your own world. But then here's the last part. It doesn't stop. The catch-22 is you got NE and FI. You this super social person anyways. So now I'm super social, but I totally lack all the skills to actually connect with like the logic of society. So you become like you really don't have a home. It's like, at least for people who aren't social, they know like, well, I got my routine, I got my this, I got my that. And then last but not least, with ENFPs, so many ideas that you have to ground with feeling. like you're grounding ideas with feeling. It's like, man. So, you know, ENFPs, if you put in the work, you can be amazing, but man, it takes some work. That's all. Okay, so next question. I'm doing 5 more questions. I'm gonna run through them quick too. I'm gonna do the next one fast, even though I never do that. Do it.
Which MBTI type is best at mind reading?
Which MBTI type is best at mind reading? I'd have to say, I gotta say ENFP. I'm not, ENFPs are the best at mind reading because FI is all about how I feel. NE is all the ideas. So we begin to naturally over time see how every idea connects with every little individual feeling. Whereas an extrovert, all the other types aren't worried about their feeling as much. And if they are, like if they're like an INFP, like the FI dominant type, they're totally into their feelings. So it's harder for them to get outside of themselves. As an ENFP, you naturally are focused on everyone's ideas. So you get how everyone thinks, but then you know how you feel. So naturally, you begin to get an internal understanding of how people feel and think within themselves. So that's how that works. Boom. 4 more questions. All righty.
What MBTI types are less concerned with their MBTI type?
Okay. So which MBTI types are less concerned with
their MBTI type?
Oh man, ESTPs, and ESFJs. I'd have to say those two because ESFJs. The one thing about ESFJs, they just have a routine. Like ESFJs are more like they like to be present and talk and connect with people, but ESFJs don't care to really like go back to learn about themselves, like on an FI level. It's like they more so want to be presently with people or doing something logical with their time if they're gonna, but they don't care to do the research. So yeah, ESFJs maybe, but the most I'll apologize because the most I'd have to say would be, damn. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm totally. It's ESTJs and ISTJs. Yep. And then maybe ESTPs. Boom. ESTPs are so present they don't even care about learning something like that. They want to have fun with that extroverted sensing. And then I only say ISTJs and ESTJs because they both have FI and FE so low in their stack. I feel like you got to have a little bit of that FE, FI in there to kind of want to learn all this MBTI stuff. You have to care about people a little bit. Those types are really big on people. So, like I said, ESTJs make up a lot of the military, like stuff like that. So they're more so, what I mean? So it's more so about what to do, more so than understanding the nuances of people. All right, boom, 3 more questions.
So I guess it's the opposite. Which MBTI type is most interested in MBTI?
Okay, which MBTI type is most interested in MBTI? The MBTI that's most interested in MBTI, I'd have to say, are INFJs. I'd say that INFJs, ENFPs, ENTPs, not a tiny bit. INFJs the most because INFJs, they kind of have that thing. I have to say between INFJs and ENFPs, they both have that internal world. Like for ENFPs, it's FI. For INFJs, it's NI. But then they have that feeling, I am an INFP and am, but a bit obsessed. That's the key. See, you said a bit, which is, I love the honesty too. INFPs are big in the community. Let me name all the other ones. INTPs are definitely big in the community. ENTPs are definitely big in the community. ENFJs, there's some really great ENFJs in the community. Who else? Oh no, I'm hooked. Oh, you're hooked. Okay, there we go. So you're just being a little shy. So, okay, so let me generalize it a bit then, because I feel like there's a sprinkle of a lot of types that are equally interested. I'll say the NFs, turned on by INFJ. That will do it for you, right? That mysterious INFJ, right? Well, that's how it is with MBTI. It's all about the types that are either focused on themselves, because they're like, I just got to figure myself out, or someone else like triggered it in you to go deeper to understand them. And the next thing you know, you're like already too deep. You're in too deep. You're sucked into the MBTI world. Welcome. So to keep it simple, NFs are the most interested types. And second to that would be NTs, which is intuitive thinkers. So that's the secondary group. So yeah, those are the two types that are the most interested in MBTI. Alrighty. Most best leader. Ooh, that's really cool. The best leader. So this is the third. I have three more questions left. So this is the third out of the last three, or the first out of the last three. It said, who's the best leader out of the MBTI types? This is an easy one. I'm happy I finally got an easy question. The best leader is going to be ENTJs, and the best leaders will be ENTJs. It's one I'm missing. ESFJs. There's one I'm not thinking of that's a really good leader. INTJs. I'd say ENTJs and INTJs are really good leaders, because I'll start with them first before I bring up any feeling types. ENTJs, INTJs are really good at setting the bar and pushing things forward. They also have, for ENTJs, they have that extroverted sensing where you can feel that primal kind of thing. So they get that primal respect. Which is, my bad. I mean, he turned me on to it. He texted me. He's an INFJ. That's so cool. That's a really cool way to find out about MBTI, for somebody to actually put you on. Shout out to that INFJ. What did I tell you? I did say INFJs and ENFPs. So it doesn't surprise me that an INFJ put you on to MBTI. INFJs are big with MBTI. But like I was saying, the best leaders are ENTJs, because they get that sensory respect. Like they'll meet you like there. And then yet they have that NI. They really have vision. And then because their TE is with that NI, it creates a situation where they have a lot of like depth and insight. So they can go real deep in their logic with that TE facts. You actually can have a lot of respect for ENTJ. You might not like them very much as your manager or boss, because they'll probably be a-holes a little bit, but you got to respect them. And INTJs, it's the similar flavor, but INTJs are actually the manager you like. They have that FI third. So if they're mature, you actually able to, they kind of can resonate with you, but they still have that respect factor, that extroverted thinking. Hey, Kelly Sandra, but like, that's so cool. So you're like hybrid, she's INPH. That's awesome. Boom. Yeah, I never heard of H. That's actually pretty interesting, Kelly. I'm sitting here floating in your conversation. No money. So yeah, so those are the two types: ENTJ, INTJ, and then for the third place, and that might be in there, is ESFJ. Oh, hybrid, cool. ESFJs are, they have the FE, which you can connect with them, but they are tough because they have the introverted thinking combined with the introverted sensing, which is like, this is what's right. These are the rules. Like if you mess up, they'll go back to the rules. They'll go back to what is right. And they kind of hold you to that standard. Yet they still can be playful. And then they have that FE, that extroverted feeling, where they can kind of like, if they're talking to like a customer, they know how to put the voice on, they know how to play the role. ESFJs can act. That's all good for high management. So boom. What are you, poster? Oh, what are you, poster? I don't know. She might be talking to somebody. They said, what are you, poster? So yeah. Let me know, clarify that question, or if you might be talking to somebody else. So okay. No, me? Okay. You said, what are you, poster? Or are you saying, what's this, poster? Or you see my any right now is going through it? It's like a bunch of ideas popping in my head. Is she saying this? Oh, this poster was actually painted by my girlfriend's sister who's visiting. So this is a nice connection. She said yes. MBTI. Okay. And if you're wondering my MBTI, I'm an ENFP. I don't know if that's the question. No, how. Okay, boom. There we go. What's my MBTI? I'm an ENFP. Boom. So yeah, I'm an ENFP. So yeah, cool. So now we're down to the last two questions. Oh yeah, okay, yep. So we're very similar. INFP. You're my cousin. ENFP, MBT, ENFPs and INFPs. When we hang out and vibe, it's like none other. It's like none other. It's really vibey. All right, cool. And any questions out here? Yep. See, she knows. I know you got an ENFP friend somewhere that is just, you love them. They're kind of crazy, but you love them. Okay, so it's all good. If there's any questions, I got 2 more questions left. I'm answering from Quora, and then we're gonna take it to the house. But I don't know how you do the extroversion in life. I know. We're your extroverted counterpart. It's wild, man. It's a different world. You enjoy being able to do your INFP things without having to be like us, because we be out and about. Pros and cons, but yeah. I wish I could do art and make beats like my INFP friends. Like all my INFP friends that do anything creative, you just can't beat them at art. Like Pharrell is an INFP. And look at the kind of stuff Pharrell does. He just can produce for everybody. It's like every INFP I know, if they're in music, is just like the best. So whatever. Boom. I do the music and the digital art. Okay, we might have to talk, my friend. I would love to communicate with another digital artist, by the way. But it doesn't surprise me. That's so dope. And now that you say that, my job is technical computer stuff. We got an INFP who does technical computer stuff. So you really are a hybrid, bro, because you got the musical art side. I was like, that's INFP. Then you said something about technicality. You stepped into a whole nother world, man. That's not our world now. Now you in the INTP territory. Yes, it's a blessing to be able to create. Yes, it is. It really is. That's so awesome.
I guess which MBTI type is the most creative?
Okay, so which MBTI type is most creative? Okay, so this is the second to last question right here. We're getting the second to last question is which MBTI type is most creative? Water sign Scorpio. So water sign Scorpio over here. Uh-oh. I know. She said the same thing I said. Okay, anyways, all right, let me stay focused. I'm sorry, y'all. I got a whole live Zoom going on. Sorry, guys. All right, cool. It's just entertaining over here. Anyways, the most creative one is we talking about just creative like art. INFP straight up. INFPs are the most creative. And then maybe when it comes to ideas, I'd have to say ENTPs have the most creative ideas. They just never act on them, so it's kind of a waste. But if they are able to, but I'm sorry, INFPs at the end of the day are the most creative, straight up. They are geniuses when it comes to anything artistic. Absolutely. So, most creative. ENFPs are up there too, but I gotta give it to INFPs. I'm being biased because INFPs are my favorite musicians. All right. ISFPs too. I'm sorry. INFPs and ISFPs, because look, Kanye's ISFP, Kid Cudi's ISFP. We can tame our scatterbrains. Exactly. If an INFP or ISFP is able to get focused enough in their craft, and if they're able to have something help them with their survival, because with INFPs, they are creative, but then they gotta get a job, and it's like, oh shit, like, So yeah, all right. INFPs, ISFPs, most creative. And we are down to the last Quora question. Yep, ISFP also. Yep, ISFPs are like my one ISFP friend. He does tattoos. He's one of the best drawers and painters I know. Anything physical with art, he does body paint, everything. He does it, and he does it every day. Shout out my boy Tay. And then INFPs do all the music and art, and they just got that creative eye. Like they're like natural hipsters, Last thing I'll say, she said, "Who are the meanest?" All right, there you go. It's okay. That'll be the last one we do right there. Who are the meanest? And the last thing I'll say about INFPs is that they are the type to, they have that kind of eye of what's cool. INFPs kind of know what's cool. They're kind of naturally connected to what is hip. So yeah, that's that. Now, who are the meanest? Last question. Here we go. The meanest type. I'm sorry, it's the ESTJs. I don't ESTJs. I mean, look, I love mankind. I love the ESTJs out there that are really cool. But look, if you have if you have introverted feeling as your worst function, and if you have extroverted feeling as the secondary worst function, you know, that's just not a good combination. That means like you have a hard time with caring about how people feel because that's not your world. So when we talk about who's mean, I have a date with an ESTJ. You're absolutely right. You better watch out because I study, I'm a teacher of attraction as well. And you might really end up liking that ESTJ because when it comes to attraction, it's different rules. But if you want to get in the friend zone, all the INFP needs to do is date an ENFP. No. They can do that too, but ENFPs are a little flirty. But I'm a submissive. Yes. Yeah, I think you better watch out. You might like that ESTJ more than you think. Right? ESTJs go straight to the point. They give that. When you think of a manly man, that's that's ESTJ territory. Okay. I want a manly man. Okay, you talking about some ESTJ, ESFJ. Motherfucker. So there we go. This man ISTJ. ISTJs are tough too, but they got a little bit of feminine, like softer, submissive, I'd say. The feely thing is a little bit less fast. So whatever. But yeah, and attraction opposites attract. So that's how that works. But the meanest type is definitely the ESTJ, ISTJ. No, ESTJ. You could say ISTJ, ESTJ, ISTJ. But the thing the flip side about that is, yes, INFJ very manly too. Nice. She said she found the INFJ very manly too. That's dope. INFJs, yeah, they have a presence, absolutely. So, but yeah, the thing about the ESTJ, ISTJ is their feelings way too low. And just to double up on that, but here's the thing though, they're very protective and loving and caring for their mate. So like, they're very protective, and it's basically if you're in their tribe, you're good. All the love. But if you're not in their tribe, you might as well be like an animal or something. It's like not literally like an animal, but I'm just saying like, if you see a deer get hit by you see a deer dead on the road, you're like, I'm sorry. But it ain't like your world's all screwed up. That's how they are about people. I feel like they're like, yeah, okay, this bad stuff happened with people, but what can you do? So whereas the feelers were more so, let him go. Let him go. You know what I mean? And the ESTJs are there blocking us with like guns, like, no, you gotta stay in here. You can't. Like, can we protest here? Nope, you can only protest over there. Those are ESTJs. Like, yeah, people are protesting because that's what human beings do. So whatever, we're just blocking the human beings. You know what I mean? There's no like, man, maybe every feeler is wondering like, man, maybe I should resonate with these people that are feeling. What are they protesting for? They don't care about that shit. Boom. Yes, he shows that already. Yeah, he is. Awesome. So there we go. Those are the 10 questions on Quora. This is really fun. I like answering Quora questions. And before I log off, this is another episode of MBTI Magic. The live recording is on tomorrow on my YouTube. Once again, God Johnny Speaks, GODJANI SPEAKS. I don't know why I spell it out. I feel like we can figure it out with Speaks. But this is the ENFP group. I'm pretty sure everyone's pretty intuitive and smart. But yeah. I'm actually into hunting, but I give my respect to the animal. It's my culture. Wow. So you at least hunt with like a little bit of like graciousness. Do you like, you like pray for it before you shoot it? I'm guessing something like that. That at least is a little better, right? But no, that's really cool. I think hunting, I need to start getting my shooting skills together. She said yes. There we go. Exactly. So yeah, there we go. So last but not least, man, any questions from the people on Zoom? Any questions for anybody in the NFP group before I step out? We must use every bit of the animal. There we go. Not wasting. Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's real. I can rock. I can definitely rock with that. You know, that's really cool. That's really cool. Is it like Native American, by the way, or is it like I'm just guessing? Like that's very interesting. I like that principle. I just wonder where that links to. So that's really cool, Kelly. So yeah, she said yes. Okay, cool. Native American. Okay, that makes sense. Yep, that culture. Native Americans did a very good job of just being one with everything and utilizing the most of everything, which is the opposite of society, especially as 2020 approaches, because it's about to be technology city, and we're not about to be one with anything except androids. Nothing. Luckily enough, there's feelers in the world to keep us connected somehow. So, alrighty, everyone. So it's my last go. Anybody has any other questions? Don't see anything on Zoom. You said no. All right, cool. Any questions in the live? Very sad. That's what she said. All right, and then any questions over here? Any other questions? Okay, I know you're curious. Let me get back on the live. I'm gonna do the last one. All right, so there's no questions. Groups, ENPs. Start live video. All right. Alrighty. So I went out, but like I said, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been very lively. It's been very fun. Shout out to ENFP group. You all have been fun for joining me. Shout out MBTI group. It's been very fun. Thank you so much for joining me on MBTI Magic. We're every Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Make sure you check out the group feeds. You'll find me on Zoom. Follow me on God Johnny at GODJANI on, I'm sorry, GOD_JANI on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at God Johnny, or you can find me with my first and last name, Majani, AJANI. Last name Irish, IRISH. You can find me on Facebook. And last but not least, you can check out godjohnny.com for all brand new products, all brand new videos, all my new stuff. All that stuff is on godjohnny.com. So aside from that, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been very fun. And shout out to everybody who joined in. We'll be back with more beautiful MBTI magic. Because guess what? Each day, the magic doesn't stop. It just grows. Remember, the magic doesn't stop. It just grows. Peace.